All right, hello everybody. So today is our last installment on the section here on Augustine, on the module on Augustine, and so we're going to be talking about Augustine's doctrine of original sin. So this is just like mentioned very briefly in our text, and we're just going to kind of talk a little bit more about it because it's really important historically. If we're like in religious context as well as like philosophical contexts, because the moral theories that we've looked at and that we will look at further are influenced by this doctrine. So it's philosophically relevant for us, even though it's like distinctly theological. So um, Augustine thinks that in Eden, right? So we talk about the fall of Adam, right? So Adam and Eve were both in a special kind of state, right? So they had certain things that, according to this tradition, we all lack today. So they had what's known as original justice. Original justice is sanctifying grace plus what are known as preternatural gifts. So, sanctifying grace, according to Augustine, is that which makes um, human beings friends with God, right? Such that when they die, they will enjoy unfiltered union with God in heaven, right? So this is something that is given by God, right? And it's something that is sort of was at one point in time was automatically built into human beings, right? Suppose that there were more people before the fall; those people would all enjoy sanctifying grace automatically. The idea is and the presence of preternatural gifts. These are what are known as pre-nature, right? So they deal with human nature, right? They're not supernatural gifts, but they're preternatural gifts. These things are immortality, impassibility, and infused knowledge. So immortality, Augustine thought that Adam wouldn't die in Eden, right? So he would just enjoy, Adam and Eve would just enjoy human life, right? Bodily life for as long as they stayed in the state, right? Impassibility, which means that there was no physical suffering on Adam or Eve's part, right? So, they stub their toe, go, ow, like they didn't do that, right? And the other thing is infused knowledge. And so, Augustine thinks that people before the fall enjoyed a kind of knowledge of biology and physics of natural things, as well as things about God, that they didn't need to inquire into. So rather than we inquire into something and then we learn about it for certain things before the fall. Adam and Eve, supposedly, according to Augustine, didn't need to inquire before knowing certain things, right? So, um, original sin, right, is the loss of the automatic sanctifying grace and the loss of the preternatural gifts, right? So, the idea here is that, look, in virtue of the decision to eat the fruit, Adam and Eve, they lose their um, sanctifying grace, their automatic sanctifying grace, and their preternatural gifts. And the preternatural gifts we like don't get back, but sanctifying grace, according to Augustine, can be gotten back, right? So anyway, so today we've looked at Augustine on original justice as well as Augustine on original sin, and talked a little bit about how like that has influenced the history of philosophy. So, thanks.